Welcome, guys. My name is James McDonald. Welcome to the channel. And if you are someone that is looking to create a magical life, right? You're looking to, improve your life in any way, shape, or form. Then this channel is for you. In particular, if you're into frequencies, vibration, law of attraction, if you're into even beyond that, just science and just improvement, really, and how the world ticks. This is the channel for you because this is what we dive into. This is what I dive into. And on this video, we are diving into the consciousness of December and then moving into 2025. What's happening around the world globally, and then what to expect. Okay, so we'll dive into that. Then what to expect of 2025 and what you can do to then prepare for it. So at the end of this live stream, at the end of, as I go through things, we're going to dive into a timeless session. So what is a timeless session? How can it be beneficial for you? So it's a meditation and say activation in one. Yeah. And this is where I generate powerful frequencies whilst guiding you into a deep meditative state to help you awaken to your brilliance. Okay. It's very simple, but quite profound. I help you come into time incredibly strongly and you awaken to your potential, to your brilliance. You start seeing yourself from that grander perspective and go, damn, I'm a brilliant being. Look at me. I'm pretty cool. Wow. Why am I operating from lack? Why am I creating my reality, my version of self from lack? And you start to go to work on yourself. Okay, you start to work on yourself at a very, very deep level, and then that say transforms the way that you show up in the world, how people treat you, what you create, your emotions, your values, all of those beautiful things. Okay, so it's a very powerful process, and so stay to the end and we'll get into it. So if you're on the live call, say what's up. Where are you tuning in from? I am here in Sydney, Australia. It's 9. It's 9:05. It is hot. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. It's hot. It's hot. So I've got a fan, but if I put the fan on now, then it might mess up the mic. So actually, you know what? Let's put on the fan. I want to see if there's a clicking sound as well. Actually, you know what? Don't worry about it. Oh, no, don't worry about the fan. I'm just gonna. Actually, you know what? We're gonna put on the fan. Just bear with me. Let's put on the fan. I want to hear. I want to see what it sounds like on your side. If it sounds like absolute, trash, all good. Uh, oh, hello. There goes my light. Let's see how this sounds. That's how this sounds. Because the Aussie heat is hot, and I'm back. Let me know if you can hear that fan, because it's very hot here in Australia. But other than that, let's dive into it, and I'll see if I can. I'll have to re-listen to this. So, okay, it's making a sound, so I'm gonna have to turn it off. Consciousness. One, let's just quickly define consciousness. Consciousness is absolutely. Consciousness is here to. Sorry, consciousness is the ingredients in which you create your physical experiences with. Okay, so sit back and relax. We'll get into it. Consciousness, again, consciousness, since this is a consciousness update. Yep. What's going on in the world and how it affects you. Consciousness are the ingredients in which you create your physical reality with. So, for example, if you have a consciousness, or if you're tapped into a consciousness and you're operating out of that place that has abuse, running in it, then no matter what you create, you're going to create abuse somehow. So you could have the most amazing family or relationship, but then in the long run, that family will then start to abuse you, right? Or you create massive amount of wealth. That wealth will then start to abuse you. You have success, that success will start to abuse you because it's you created yourself, your experiences, you're reflecting yourself here from the consciousness of, say, lack. Okay, and that is what this time is all about, guys. It's literally about See you later. See you later to the old consciousness. And let's just talk about this a little bit because it's quite important for everyone. So just taking a breath in and noticing where you are, whether you like things in the world, right? Whether you like things in the world or not, the reality is we are all operating, or we have operated from that consciousness. So if you don't like the poverty, if you don't like the wealth disparity, if you don't like the way that women are treated by men, if you don't like how men are treated by women, if you don't like whatever it is, if there are things that upset you in the world, you've got to look at yourself basically, because you are a part of that consciousness. We all are. Yeah, it's what got us here. Yeah, because again, the consciousness is the unseen building blocks that then reflects and renders this physical reality. Does that make sense? So, taking in another breath and just noticing where you are to allow yourself just to sink into it. And if this doesn't make sense, don't worry. If it does, awesome. But uh, that is what consciousness is. And so what's happening in December is that old, it's it's really slipping away, guys. That old consciousness, it's really slipping away. You see that newness coming through, and with that newness, right, globally, there's a lot of destruction. There's a lot of friction. There's a lot of polarity, right? There's a lot of and again, I'm using my abilities to tap into this. It's not like I've read details in the news and things like that. I'm literally just using my abilities to tap into what is happening globally. Okay. And then maybe at the end, I'll share things with you guys individually. So December is it's for, and I'll just kind of scan you guys as well. That's listening in. But from what I'm seeing, there's like kind of almost three group. I mean, I know there's three individuals on the call, but globally, there's like you either it's just give me a sec. So globally, there are people that are really tidying up. Okay, the consciousness that is here, that's really penetrating through and really that we're operating out of, or that's wanting to come through. A lot of individuals are cleaning the hell up. It's like, oh man, we got to clean the closet to get ready for 2025. Right? We got to oil the engine. We've got to change the gears. We've got to get new cogs. We've got to get a new transmission. All of these sorts of things. Yeah, new tires. Let's throw out the old so that we can really prepare ourselves to take advantage of 2025. That's really that's happening for a lot of individuals, and for some people, it's pretty intense, right? For some people that aren't very used to it, it can be pretty intense. For some others, it's really seamless. For some others, it's just like they kind of, the weeks go by and they look back and you go, oh my gosh, like you don't even, and I've seen it in people around me, I've seen it in my family where people have just changed, right? They literally have just changed. And it's not, there's no other reason than say the consciousness is shifting. Yeah. And then that impacts the people, us, right? Because we're tapped into that, right? And we have those opportunities to shift. So that's what's happening around the world. America, right? To me, America is actually one of the first probably nations. There's other countries as well. And again, I haven't looked into anything. Obviously, I know about the election and all that sort of stuff, but there's a few other countries as well from what I'm seeing, like maybe four or five. There's like four or five key countries that are pretty much going first. Like those nations have put their hand up and they're like, yep, let's go. Like, let's clean out the closet. Let's tidy up all this bullshit and bring in that new consciousness. Yeah. Where we really understand who we are, which is brilliant beings. Yeah. And then creating and reflecting that here in the physical. So, but yeah, America might not be the and again, a lot of shit is happening in America, but um, um, and let's just talk about Australia because I'm Aussie. At least that's my background, and half British, and a lot of Australians here as well. So Australia, to me, guys, in terms of like the consciousness shift, Australia's. I, it pains me to say this because I'm Australian, but like we're really slow to the party. Okay, in terms of the consciousness shifts, what it looks like to me anyway, let's say a nation, we're kind of slow to the party. We again we're we're colonized by the UK, so you know we're from we're that's our like what do you call it? That's our We are the offspring of the United Kingdom, in combination with say the indigenous, right, and a lot of immigration over the years. But so so what that means is that uh, yeah, say control for Australia, it actually to me December and the new year, it almost feels as if like another wave of control is going to come through, and I don't know what it's going to be, but that's just what it feels like to me. Some wave of control is going to come through Australia to 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 basically like try and dominate even more. Whether that's a government system or a foreign foreign policies or whatever it is internal. Again, I don't know the exact details, but from a consciousness level, it feels to me as if there's going to be a control mechanisms really rising. Okay, because uh, the consciousness of Australia, there's an element of she'll be right. Okay, you hear it all the time. Or not, maybe not. Maybe you don't hear it all the time, but there is that element of say, oh yeah, she'll be right. Like it's all good. Like we're the lucky country. We are, all those sorts of things. But beyond all of the beauty that we have, guys, we're really dark. I just say it, like Australia is really dark. There is so much stuff going, and again, I don't know all the details, but there is so much stuff going underneath the surface at a consciousness level, and it's probably manifesting into materializing into things at a government level and whatever it might be. We're really dark, yeah. We just are, and we as a consciousness, like say the Australian consciousness, we're okay with like it's almost we're okay with it, and that's why I believe things are as a population. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying as a population, it's to me it feels again, it's okay, whatever. Like we kind of turn a blind eye, sort of thing. Oh, we've got the beaches, so it doesn't matter that the government is doing what they might be doing. Yeah, or companies might be doing what they're doing. Okay, or all those sorts of things. So it's okay. We've got the sun and the beach, and it's cool. So it's for Australia. Again, not sure what's going to happen. And I predicted this. I actually predicted the assassination attempt. It actually felt like an assassination. But this was a couple of years ago. I was a year off. I was a year off. And then, look what happened with Trump. And it was pretty fascinating. I saw it happen. I saw it on the news and I went, damn. And I'd forgotten that I'd actually spoken about that. But I'd made a prediction a year, 2 years prior, actually looking into the future. And it was like, oh, there feels like there's an assassination attempt. And then there you go, Trump. So, and I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. Anyway, it's somewhere. So I'll be curious to see what else happens here in Australia and globally. I'll tap into more, and I'll just make a few other predictions, uh, and and then let's talk about what we can expect. Right? Well, how can we use this time to really awaken further? Yeah, use it for ourselves. So yeah, there's going to be yeah. So from what I'm seeing. right? There's basically a huge split. So the globe, but really the globe is just a reflection of the consciousness. Yeah. Again, the globe, global events, everything, it's this universe is a reflection of the consciousness in which it is operating out of. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? Just give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. So like comment in a one or yes. Just say yes if that makes sense. The global situations, what is happening globally and even universally, right? Planetary, everything is a reflection of the consciousness in which we are operating out of. Okay, it's a reflection of the consciousness. So globally, there's a huge split. It's literally like new, or sorry, I should say new, old. It's like old and new. It's like old and new. Okay, the new is gathering a lot of momentum, right? That new consciousness that is here, it's like wow, a lot of people are gravitating towards it. They're moving in that direction. They're cleaning up their bullshit. Their lives may be falling apart because they're seeing all the bullshit that they've been living with. Um, People, for individuals that have done the heavy lifting prior, they're really seeing they're really reaping the rewards, right, of their hard work. They're really that adventure, that fun, that exploration of really who you are, right? A timeless being, yeah. Experiencing and rendering themselves in this in this physical reality. So they're really adventuring and exploring that brilliance here, or at least that's the pathway. So it's really exciting for these individuals. Really exciting. Okay, you really want to be on this side. Okay, you really want to be on this side because this side, uh, again, from this side, from the people, and say from the communities and the whoever else, for those individuals that just stay in this consciousness, it's going to be really fucking hard. Like straight out brass tacks, it's going to be real. It's going to be a struggle. Okay, and the reason why it's going to be a struggle is because it's not supported anymore. Well, it's sorry, it is supported. We're not out of the woodworks yet, right? We're not. It's not like like heaven on earth or utopia, or I don't know what other labels people would use or terms people would use, but it's uh, that some people would say the return of Christ and things like that. I'm not religious. That's just what's coming up. Maybe some of you individuals that are listening, maybe you're, definitely a believer of Jesus, Buddha, other greats in the world, even Muhammad. A lot of women as well, really powerful women in the world. But again, the individuals, not necessarily the religion. So, but that's another topic. I'll just bring it back. So, just taking a breath in. That's for me. And so for the individuals that are still in that old consciousness, it's a really tough time because those, let's just put it this way. You may, you, it's like trying to get the same results. It's like turning on lights, yeah, but the wiring's changed. Yeah, it's literally like I want to see the world. Like I want to turn on the fan. If you were here for that, I wanted to turn on the fan. It's quite hot. So we want to turn on the lights, but the wiring behind the lights, it's changed. Yeah, so you might want to produce a result. You might want to, move in a certain direction, but the settings have changed, so it's not going to support you anymore. Yeah, it just not it's not. And the people that just have their blindfolders on, their blinkers on, and they're just narrow minded and they're just no, I'm going this way. It's To me, guys, it's like death. It's just like a lot of death, a lot of confusion, a lot of really sad things, and even like internal. conflict. I see a bit of a war somewhere as well. I don't know where specifically, but in that, in that consciousness, it's like there seems to be a war. Um, it's like it's not like a global war, but it's yeah. There's it's like a war, but it's and this is going to sound funny, but it's like it just doesn't carry the same weight anymore. So the individuals in, say, the new consciousness that's coming through, they'll like look at that war and it just won't make sense, because it's like, well, it's never worked. War has never worked. And then the people that are operating that, say, war consciousness, like, oh no, but we need our land, we need this, we need to fight, fight for X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, fuck, where has that got the world? There's it hasn't it hasn't worked, and it's not it's the consciousness behind the war. Yeah. So I'm seeing that as well. So yeah. Um, Damn. Come on, Australia. If you just joined live, uh, I was again talking earlier about the consciousness of Australia, because again, I'm Australian. I live here. A lot of individuals here are Australian. A lot of people listening also in the States. So States definitely, further along than Australia. That's for sure. Way far ahead. Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe not too far. But so hopefully, I'd like to be wrong, but I'm pretty spot on with things these days. So we'll see what turns up. Okay. So again, predictions. Uh, War, um, a little war somewhere. Don't know where. I mean, that's easy to say, but again, it feels like there's a war. I can't even remember what I even said, because I went into it. So I'll have to rewatch this and look at the predictions. If someone could type it out, that'd be really cool. Um, but you'll see. uh, you're going to see a lot of, again, for those individuals that are in that new consciousness, it's a huge opportunity for wealth as well. It's like another, um um and not for like everyone, but and I'm talking specifically like financial wealth. It's and everyone just taking a breath in, noticing where you are, noticing the room that you're in, and then noticing the chair that you're sitting on. uh at some point next year, it looks like, there's just going to be, um, quite an opportunity. Doesn't it look like for everyone? For everyone, anyway, just like a financial wealth, it just looks like there's going to be a moment in time next year where it's going to be a really opportune time for pretty much everyone to create massive amounts of wealth, financial wealth. So, um, I don't know what that's all about, but there is that opportunity for some individuals as well. Uh, yeah. So, um, yeah, which is pretty cool. So keep an eye out for that. And and let's just tap into health as well. We kind of spoke about like political things in a way. Governments, consciousness, financials. Let's talk about health. Old versus the new. um, for the individuals moving into the new consciousness, which is happening, which is already happening, there's going to be a lot of health problems that come up. Okay, but those health problems, for those individuals that are cleaning up, they're not there to destroy you. Okay, and I'll just say that again. The health problems that come up, they're not there to destroy you. Okay, they are there as they come up for those individuals. They are coming up so you get to clean them up. Yeah, they're coming up so you get to clean them up. Just give me 1 second. uh, right? So, and then for those in the old consciousness, it's like it's just going to get worse, right? Health, it's that disconnect from this world. Like again, if we get there, right? This is just a potential. It's not guaranteed, but say over the course of 2025 and into the next, 2026 and over the next say decade, uh, if that new consciousness gets enough legs behind it, if more people put their hand up and go, you know what, I want to operate out of this space, then the old consciousness, people are going to feel incredibly disconnected in the future, right? I don't know if this seems further down the track, probably like a decade. There's going to be a lot of individuals that don't feel of this world. They will literally, and that this is where a lot of suicide will come through, a lot of um, really sad things, but that is literally because that the old consciousness, it's not, it's so the old consciousness is not of this world anymore. If we get there, so it's so yeah. Pretty wild stuff. But that's how powerful a consciousness is. That is how powerful. Uh, shifting which consciousness you are operating out of is. It's really that powerful. It's really that powerful, and that's what we do at Timeless, right? That is what we do at Timeless, which is the company that I operate, with the programs that I do, and also these Timeless sessions that I do on these live streams. Okay, it's a consciousness shift. It's not a mindset shift, it's a consciousness shift. And as you start to harmonize with that grander consciousness that lives within you, that you have access to, your life starts to dramatically transform because it's time. You're coming into time more. And as you come into time more, you wake up to the fact that you are amazing, you're a badass, yeah, you're freaking cool, and you get to work. And and again, the key word here is the or key phrase is the opportunity to transform opens up for you. The opportunity to. Okay, we've still got to choose those things when the new shows up, right? That new pathway that is beneficial for our new self. We have to choose it. You have to, because if you don't, it's gonna bite you in the ass. Okay. It really will bite you in the ass, especially when you're awakened and you're awakening. It'll bite you in the ass. It's like knowing the truth. It's like knowing that the stove is hot and you just touch it anyway. You're gonna burn your finger, right? So it's you have opportunities, okay, to you can make mistakes 100%. I'm not saying don't make mistakes. You can. I've made a fuckload of mistakes, and I continue to make mistakes. And but it's mistakes are great as long as they support you learning and growing, okay, and you're not repeating the same things. So just do your best not to repeat the same things as you go through the programs, and these Wednesday sessions, okay. So yeah, that's so we kind of covered that. Yeah, I mean, we went through what to expect in 2025. Um, so let's get into. Does anyone have any questions before I get into the timeless session, the the meditation? Does anyone have any questions about consciousness, the new year, this time that we're in, whatever it might be? Just comment in, and then I can answer them. For some of you, I'm seeing that your December's probably not going to be uh, very fun. For some of you, especially like family time, right? So for a lot of you, that again, it almost seems like everyone on the call. almost pretty much everyone on the call, you're gonna see those frequencies and the patterns that like permeate from your family, and like the holiday activities, and all those things. I don't know who I'm kind of reading at the moment. It feels like quite a lot of you. You're going to start seeing, say, the code behind the scenes. Yeah, this light's a little bright, isn't it? You're going to actually start seeing the coding behind, family gatherings, all that sort of stuff. Okay. And for a lot of you, it's going to be pretty like icky. It's going to be like, holy shit. It's going to be quite exposing. So uh, just observe it, note it. Don't make anyone wrong for it, right? They're just patterns. Uh, but yeah, just be aware of that. And for those that are in Sydney, I've got on Thursday, next week, Thursday, the 12th of December, I'm doing in-person sessions, maximum 6 people. If it would be a great, uh, a great opportunity to, like, say, smoothen out that process for you as you go through the family period, the holiday period. For those that are in Sydney, um, and maybe I'd do an online one. I'm not too sure for individuals in the States. Let me know if you want me to throw up an online group session as well. But it'd be really great to say allow yourself to say smoothen out that process on, say, seeing those patterns throughout family dynamics. Okay, so it's more smooth for you, right? So you can actually enjoy that period. So check it out. It'll be on, or email me or message me. I should really, I don't have the event details on my website. I should, but I don't. So either leave a comment and I'll send it to you, or email me, or just contact me. Email me at hello@james-mcdonald.com, and I can send you the details for the December in-person sessions. Okay, dealing with a high amount of polarization is magnifying the sense. Dealing with a high amount of polarization is magnifying the sense of mental fracturing. Suggestions. Yeah, dealing with a high amount of um, are you talking about yourself, Renee? Like, dealing with high amount of polarization is magnifying a sense of mental fracturing. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, 100%. Like, uh, yeah. Um, I mean, I could go into that, Renee, if you want, but this is like a public forum. So I mean, I'm happy to, like, read you and and whatnot. Um, but it's yeah, it's a public forum. So just give me the thumbs up if you want me to, like, do a quick read, um, and then uh, and then and then we can get into the group session. But is it okay? Because I can kind of just let me know, because obviously it's your private info. It's yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So for you specifically, it's like it's actually really exciting for you, even though it's intense, because again, you're seeing how fractured your life has been. Hence why you're seeing that mental fracturing. And why, like, you're going through that intense time, because it's like you're seeing how fractured you have been. So for you, sweetheart, I would, for you, I just, like, wouldn't read anything. And when I say read anything, I wouldn't read the news, and I'm sure you don't read the news, but I wouldn't even look into, like, um, for lack of a better word, conspiracies, or what they're doing to your water, and all these sort, all of those things, like I would, for you, sweetheart, I would do your best to almost forget about the world. Because for you, Renee, you've cared way too much. Um, and it like fucks you up, you know? It's like, oh, I gotta be the savior and really help the world. But the formula behind that is like you get messed up. So I would, in your situation, Renee, I would again like, who gives a fuck about what's happening out there? Who gives a shit? Yeah, people can do what they want to do, whatever. Uh, and for you, it's just about being. Again, I would again jump onto the Wednesday streams if you can. I would do the January. I've got a January time, the foundations. That would be really helpful for you. And what else would be good? I mean, for you specifically, and I think I've mentioned it before, but again, it's really honing in on your senses. So, like swimming or nature, getting out in nature, things like that. You don't obviously have to do it all the time, uh, uh, but yeah, it's really and giving yourself that grace as well, guys. Like, let's pull in grace as we shift into the session. Everyone just taking that breath in and just noticing where you are. And thanks so much for asking that question, because now we get to bring in this frequency. And some of you are feeling it already. So just remembering where you are, closing down your eyes, remembering the room, because going back to the start of the live stream, consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is the set of ingredients that we have access to that then creates our physical experience here. Okay. So if your consciousness is, bullshit and limitation and just crap, right? Garbage, then whether you create wealth, whether you create a lovely family, eventually it's going to lead to bullshit. It's laced with the coding behind it, has all of that garbage, right? So uh, what that means is, I've kind of just lost my point. It'll come back to me. But so feeling grace, yeah, there we go. So grace, the frequency of pure grace, meaning say forgiveness, but it's more than just forgiveness, uh, because as I said earlier, we are all a part of that old consciousness. All the things that we don't like in the world, the horrible things in the world, we are a part of that, or we have been a part of that consciousness. We are the product of that consciousness, all of us, globally. Whether you think you are or you're not, you are. So bringing in that grace, right? Because there's a lot of crap, right? Humans we've fucked up a lot. If you look, we've done some horrible things. Look at the bullshit chemicals that are just plaguing the world. It's crazy. Um, you know, um, we used to think this cigarettes were great for us, and now, anyway, even prior to that, beyond that. So let's just pull in grace as you move through whatever you're moving through, right? Just give yourself that ease. So taking that breath in, noticing what you can hear around you, noticing what you can smell, And then noticing what you can taste, saliva on your tongue. Mhm. And noticing what you can touch, what you can sense. Some of you, just reading the group, some of you feel like, uh, yeah, you say let go a lot of stuff, but that creates a fragmentation. So it's like things have shattered, you've let things go, and now this session, what this session is about, it's about like pulling yourself back together. It's like, hey, we let that stuff go. Now let's weld ourselves back together. Okay. So taking that breath in, noticing the floor underneath you, the carpet, the timber, the grass, whatever it might be. Hmm. Again, noticing your breath, inhaling through the nose, holding for a second or two, exhaling throughout the mouth, and noticing the floor, visualizing it, remembering where it is, and then noticing what you're sitting on, what's supporting you. Is it a chair, a sofa? Noticing the floor. For those that want to go deeper into the floor, noticing the layers of the floor, fluorine, whatever it might be, the structure of the building beneath you, and then moving back up to what's supporting you, the chair, or you lying down, and then noticing your body, you, as you ask yourself that question, how can I connect to my timeless truth even more, my timeless essence, my brilliance even more. Mm. It's not a mindset change. It's not hypnosis. I'm shining a light on you so you can see yourself better. And as you see yourself better, you get to adjust better. Right? You get to see your weaknesses. You get to see where you're falling short. And then as a result, you go to work on those things. Just like any, say, elite athlete, any, the special, the really great ones, and successful individuals, they notice their weaknesses and they get to work on them, right? They maximize their strengths, and then as they move on, they redefine their weaknesses. So taking that breath in through the nose, just allowing yourself to settle in even more as we go deeper into yourself, a grander version of you, helping you see yourself from a grander perspective, helping you take a step outside of your current box of possibilities. So there's more objectivity, it's greater, say, strength behind you, because you're not in the box, you're out of the box. So we just stay here for a while. Noticing your floor, noticing the structure, what's supporting you. For some of you, you're going to feel unstable during this session. So if you're feeling that, it's because you're seeing that now. Feeling a little wobbly, a little like, ugh, feeling off. It's because now you're seeing it. I didn't put anything anywhere. You're just now seeing how off you've been. Some of you might even feel physically ill from what I'm picking up. One or two of you. So just noticing, noticing the floor, noticing what's supporting you and your body as you take that breath in through the nose. Noticing your breath through the nose. Holding that breath. Exhaling whenever you're ready. Noticing your breath again. Inhaling through the nose, holding for a second or two, and then exhaling throughout your mouth. Noticing what's supporting you. Noticing the floor, then you, your bone structure. Some of you feeling incredibly centered, quite light, potent. Some of you might be feeling a little strange. It's all part of the process. If you're feeling a little off, again, you're seeing that you're off. Timeless, your brilliant self, that brilliance that you are deep down, it doesn't bullshit you. It doesn't bullshit anyone. So as you say harmonize, or say as you awaken that timeless side of you even more, it it calls you out basically. It doesn't call you out. It's very blatant. It's very blunt. It's like, hey, we're off. We're way off. Yeah. And you see it. So don't bury yourself for being off or for feeling off. Just notice it. Say, okay, cool, I'm off. Well, what do I need to do to be more on, to be more in sync, to be in more harmony? And sometimes you have to command it, guys, sometimes. Sometimes you have to command it. It's like, nah, not this time. I'm getting back on, I'm getting back in sync. I'm feeling more stable. I'm going to move into a grander, say, version of me. How can I? What do I need to do? This is where your psychology comes into play. And sometimes you just got to get on with it. So taking that breath in, then for those other individuals that are feeling more light, you'll say reaping those rewards of going deeper within yourself and taking that responsibility and staying at it, right? For some of you, you've been working on yourselves for quite some time, right? But it's that commitment to self and then doing it in the right way, which has created a lot of momentum for you. So wherever you're at, right? Whatever stage you're at, just notice it. Give yourself that grace. If you're in the shit, you're in the shit. Just call it out. And if you're not, you're not. And again, those questions of really the most simple question is how can I connect to my timeless self even more? How can I live for my brilliant self even more? What do I need to do? Right? And then do those things that you probably know that you should be doing. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to leave you here. Wonderful call. And if you got this far in your own time, you can just hang out in this space. For those that want to open up their eyes, you can look at something unmoving to spatial reference. The wall is there, my body is here. If you got this far and you want to learn more about Timeless, there's a bunch of YouTube videos uh, that you can check out. There's a good one in the description of this video as well. Uh, there's also a free downloadable if you want to. There's a downloadable session on clearing, say, negative energy. But really it's about clearing stuff within you, right? It's clearing. So it's a downloadable replay for anyone that wants that in the description. And for those that want in-person sessions or more specific sessions, then next week, Thursday, here in Maroubra in Sydney, uh, I'll be doing an event. And then in January as well, that's the Timeless Foundations online group program. So keep an eye out for that as well. So, all right, guys, thanks for being here. Feel free to like the video. For those that were, it goes a long way. Leave a comment as well with your experience if you want, and share the love. All right, peace.